It's no secret what happened in Altadena, January 7th, 2025. This fire map, commissioned by Randy Clement, fellow Altadenan and owner of the Good Neighbor Bar, really tells the story of the 9,000 plus structures that are no longer here. Randy's inside. I want you to hear his story about how this place became so central to our Altadena community. Randy, I'm happy to see you today. Will you tell me a little bit about how Good Neighbor Bar has evolved from what it was before the Eaton Fire?
Sure. I mean, we, my wife and I, April and our two sons, we live right up the street. So we lived in Altadena. There's something about this building where we're like, that's the building. And we thought, you know what, we should do like another wine store and maybe like a bar. And we talked to the powers that be in the neighborhood, and it was like this really beautiful kind of small town experience, putting it all together 3-4 months before the Eaton Fire. So, before the fire, it very much was the first new bar to open in Altadena in 50 years. It was the first new wine store in, I don't know, maybe 70 years. And it was community from the beginning. Eaton Fire happens, devastation happens, and we reopened literally right after, 18 days after the fire, this bar reopened. And it just immediately, not even really on purpose, it just became the place where people told those stories to each other and found that we all had this common experience in this deep way that you only have common experiences like when you live through disaster.
Randy, you're the guy who called me on the phone and told me that my building in Altadena was a total loss, had burned to the ground. And I know that you spent lots of time in the days when the fire was still burning, driving through Altadena, communicating with friends and strangers and letting them know what their status was.
Because it was so windy, the helicopters couldn't fly, so we didn't really know what happened. We drove up here and quickly realized it was more of a fire than we ever could have imagined. But then the next day, they started to close it off. And I realized that a lot of people didn't come back up immediately after. So people, I would listen to them or see them on social media I don't know about my house, does anyone see my house? And then we just drove around and checked on people's houses, and every day had a list of a couple hundred houses, would go and we would just take a picture, and then that information would ultimately get to the homeowner, and it would either say, it's here, or I'm so sorry. At first we were really worried about telling people their houses weren't there, but then I realized they just needed to know.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah.
I mean, it was nice for me that you were the one who made the call.
Yeah.
So Randy, post-Eaton Fire, what drives people to come to Good Neighbor Bar from all over LA?
Even though this business in the wine store wasn't open but a mere 4 months, there's a nostalgia. This was here prior. This is BE, before Eaton. After the fire, Altadena was boiled down to only what's really important. And I think people come from all over the place to come here to experience this kind of oasis of actual importance.
I love that that's how you explain that, because that's how I've experienced being here every single time.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really nice to be in Good Neighbor Bar, but we should also go next door to show everyone West Altadena wine also.
Let's do it. Randy, I know you built all the furniture in here. The aesthetic is so great. I want to hear a little more about how you built the wall inside Good Neighbor Bar.
Year before the Eaton Fire, my sons and I drove around Altadena and Altadena only, and we picked up only the most interesting discarded wooden furniture from the side of the road in Altadena only. And then a genius friend of mine named Tony Brown sliced that super thin, and 10,000 nails later, we have a wall in there that's built of furniture from now houses that are no longer there.
Tell me about commissioning the fire map.
So the fire map was a friend of ours named Noel McCarthy was experiencing exactly what we were all experiencing, which was, it was very hard to explain to people the totality of what actually happened. So there was a county fire map that existed, but you could only see it with thumb and forefinger on your screen of your phone. Noel took 25 basic shots of each of those screens, put them together, and so that fire map represents exactly what happened on the night of the Eaton Fire.
You know, Randy, thank you for everything that you and April have done for Altadena. I don't know if you know how important you are to our community, and frankly, to me. Thank you for everything you've done.
It's the most important thing we've ever done.
Thank you.